Good morning. This is our second class on Module 1 Wave Motion. Now, in today's class, we are going to discuss about plane progressive harmonic wave, its expression, and finally an expression for the energy density for a plane progressive harmonic wave. So, first of all, let us see the definition for a plane progressive harmonic wave. It is nothing but a wave in which there is regular transmission of energy across every section of the medium and the wavefront is assumed to be plane. So, a plane progressive harmonic wave is a wave in which there is a regular transmission of energy. That is, energy transmission is uniform or regular across each and every section of the medium, and the wavefront of this wave is supposed to be plane. That is, in the last class we have discussed about various types of wavefront like planar, spherical, cylindrical, etc. So, in the case of a plane progressive harmonic wave, wavefront is supposed to be planar or plane. Okay. Now, in such a wave, the displacement of the particle is supposed to be simple harmonic. Okay. And we can express that displacement of the particle y as a function of as a sinusoidal function, that is a sine function of time. That is, the displacement of a particle in a plane progressive wave is given by equation 10, that is y is equal to a sine omega t. Here, a is actually the amplitude of the wave. Amplitude means maximum displacement of the particle to one side. Now, suppose that the displacement of the particle uh, is at a distance x from the origin. Okay, the displacement of the particle or the particle is displaced through a distance x from the origin. Then equation 10 will get modified to y is equal to a sine omega t minus x by v. This also we have discussed in the last class. We are incorporating that displacement factor also in equation 10. So equation 10 will become like this. Now, again it is written as y is equal to a sine 2 pi velocity by lambda, v by lambda. T minus x by v is kept as such. Now, how does that omega becomes 2 pi v by lambda? Because we know omega is equal to 2 pi frequency f. Frequency is nothing but 2 pi velocity v by lambda. Okay, that is how this omega is written as 2 pi v by lambda. Okay, then t minus x by v is kept as such. Then you are taking that v term inside the bracket. So it again reduces to y is equal to a sine 2 pi by lambda vt minus x. Now that equation 11 is the expression for a simple harmonic plane progressive wave traveling along positive x direction. Now if it is along negative x direction, then what will be the equation 11 like? Instead of vt minus x, there you will have vt plus x. Okay. Now here the angular frequency of the wave is the same as angular frequency of the oscillating particle. So that's all about the definition of a plane progressive harmonic wave and its expression. Okay. Now this session, this is usually asked as an essay question, that is derive the expression for energy density of a plane progressive wave. Okay. So this is most probably it will be asked as an essay question. So what happens when a plane progressive wave propagates or travels? When a plane progressive wave travels through a medium, the particles of the medium will execute oscillatory motion. This means that there is a regular energy transfer in the direction of propagation of wave. That is why the particles are executing oscillatory motion. Now, the energy density of a plane progressive wave is nothing but the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy per unit volume of the medium through which the wave is passing. All these are very simple sentences. Hope it is very clear. So, I am not explaining it again. Now, let us evaluate the energy density here. For that, we have to consider the equation for a plane progressive wave that we have derived earlier, that is equation 11, y is equal to a sine 2 pi by lambda vt minus x. Now, the first step is to differentiate that equation, this equation with respect to t. So dy by dt, that is, you are differentiating this equation with respect to t. Okay, so it will be dy by dt. Y is displacement. So displacement, if you are differentiating it with respect to time, what will be that? It will be velocity. Okay, so dy by dt is velocity. Now if you are again differentiating it, it will be d square y by dt square, and that will be acceleration a. Okay, so start differentiating equation. Y is equal to a sine 2 pi by lambda vt minus x. So that is your y. So first you differentiate it with respect to t, that is dy by dt. So how it will look like? Take this a constant as the first function and sine 2 pi by lambda vt minus x as the second function. So the differentiation will be first function into derivative second plus second function into derivative first. Hope you all know that, you have studied in your earlier classes. So according to that, start differentiating. So we will keep the first equation a as such. What is the differential of sine 2 pi by lambda vt minus x? It will be cos 2 pi by lambda vt minus x. Again into, you are differentiating with respect to t. So again it will be 2 pi by lambda. Okay, so the then plus second function into derivative first. Derivative first is actually the derivative constant, so that will get 0. So the only thing that is left is this one. Okay, so on simplifying, what will be like that? It will be 2 pi a by lambda. Sorry, here there is v also. We are differentiating with respect to t. So 2 pi by lambda v. Okay, so final expression will be dy by dt, or velocity will be 2 pi a by 2 pi v a by lambda. See, 2 pi v a by lambda cos 2 pi by lambda vt minus x. This is what they have written here. That is your equation 12. So you just work it out, then only it will be clear. There is nothing confusing in this. It is a very simple differentiation. Take a as the first function, then sine 2 pi by lambda vt minus x as the second function. Then start differentiating by applying the formula first function into derivative second plus second function into derivative first. We will very easily reach at equation 12. So that is your velocity dy by dt. Now you once again you differentiate it. That will d square y by dt square. That is acceleration. That you can work it out. The procedure is the same. So you will get equation 30. Now, but in this acceleration case, you will get a negative sign. But we are neglecting that negative sign. Why? Because that just indicate that acceleration is opposite to that of displacement. So you can just neglect that negative sign. Okay. Now consider an infinitesimally thin layer of medium of thickness dx, which is at a distance x from the origin, as shown in the figure given below. Okay. Now let rho be the density of the medium. Then what will be the mass of the layer? It will be dm. It is written dm. Why? Because we are considering a small thickness dx. So mass will also be a small amount. That is why we are writing dm. So mass will be dm is equal to that thickness dx into density rho. That is dx rho. Okay, so dm is equal to rho dx. Equation 40. Now we have already said that that layer is very thin of thickness dx. The velocity is supposed to be the same. So the expression for kinetic energy of the layer is given by equation 15. How does this expression come? So kinetic energy, you know, it is half mv square. Okay, here half is written like as such. Here in place of m we have dm, right? What was the expression for dm? Rho dx. So that is written again here. See, because rho dm, because dm is actually rho dx, right? So in place of mass we are writing half mv square, half in place of m, that is dm, we write rho dx. See, half rho dx. Then what is velocity? Velocity is dy by dt, right? The whole square. But dy by dt we have already derived the expression. See, dy by dt we have derived the expression dy by dt, this one. So dy by dt the whole square will be 4 pi square v square a square by lambda square cos 2 pi by cos square 2 pi by lambda vt minus x. We are just substituting these equations here. Okay, so kinetic energy is half mv square. In place of m we are using rho dx, and in place of v, v is nothing but dy by dt. So v square will be dy by dt the whole square. Dy by dt we have already obtained in equation 12. So just square it. See, then you will get this expression, and just simplify this, that is 2 and 2, this will get cancelled. So finally the expression for kinetic energy reduces to equation 60. This is also very simple. Now next one, expression for force acting on the layer. Again, what is the expression for force? Force is mass into acceleration. In place of mass, we know we have already derived, it is rho dx. See, it is written like that. And what is acceleration? D square y by dx square. That expression we have already derived. Just substitute it. Equation 30. Okay, d square y by dx square. You are just substituting it and then simplifying it. So you will get equation 18 as the expression for force acting on a layer. Okay, so we have got the expression for kinetic energy, expression for force acting on the layer. Now suppose that the layer is displaced through a distance dy, then what will be the work done? Work is force into distance. Okay, so here dw, small amount of work done, dw will be the force applied, F into displacement dy. Okay, so F dy, we have already derived the expression for force, equation 80. Just write that and then write dy as such. Okay, so here what you have to do is just substitute the value of F, that is equation 18 here, and just write dy as such. Okay, now if we want to derive the expression for the work done for a complete displacement, say y, then what you have to do? You have to integrate this equation. That is, you have to integrate equation 19 from the limit 0 to y. See, this is equation 19. You are integrating it from 0 to y with respect to y dy. Okay. So how will you get this? The next step, I will show you the integration. It is also very simple. See how it is worked out. This is again equal to 0 to y is kept as such. Then all these terms, 4 pi square, v square, rho dx by lambda square, everything is kept as such. But what you have to do is you are integrating with respect to y, right? So you are applying this limit, that is 0 to y dy. Okay, all these terms 4 pi square v square rho dx by lambda square is kept as such, and you are just applying this limit 0 to y, that is integral, only to this y dy. Okay, so this expression will look like this. Okay, now what is integral y dy? It is y square by 2, right? Now you just apply that y square by 2, the limit. So this integral part will reduce to y square by 2, right? So what happens? This 2 and this will get cancelled. So it will be 2 pi square v square rho dx by lambda square y square. See, this is the expression. Hope it is clear. So what you have to do is just keep the constants outside, that is 4 pi square v square rho dx by lambda square is kept as such, and apply the limit, the integral 0 to y dy. Okay, so what is integral 0 to y dy? It is y square by 2. So you just multiply this, that is 4 pi square v square rho dx by lambda square is kept as such, and you are applying that integral to y dy. Integral 0 to y dy is nothing but y square by 2. Now simplify this expression and you will reach it this one. Okay, now here once again what they have done is that here they have kept this 2 pi square v square rho dx and lambda square as such, but in place of y square they have made a substitution like this, because we already know y is equal to a sine 2 pi by lambda vt minus x. So what will be y square? It will be a square sine square 2 pi by lambda vt minus x. So just they have substituted, so you will reach at equation 20. Now, so we have already got the expression for work done. Now that work done will be stored as potential energy. So this expression that we have derived for the work done, that is equation 20, is nothing but the expression for potential energy V. Just repeating the same equation, and you are giving a name as V, potential energy, and it is numbered as equation 21. Now what is the total energy? Total energy will be E, it is kinetic energy T plus potential energy V. So combine those two equations, that is add the equations for kinetic energy, that is equation 16, and the expression for potential energy equation 21. Add equation 16 and 21 and you will reach at the expression 2 pi v square rho dx a square by lambda square, and that is given the number equation 22. So the energy density, which is nothing but total energy per unit volume of the medium, it is obtained by integrating the above expression, that is equation 22, between the limit x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. So in order to obtain the energy density, that is total energy per unit volume, what you have to do is you have to integrate equation 22 with respect to x. Okay, and the limit of integration is from x equal to 0 to x equal to 1. So just write the same expression here, apply the integral 0 to 1. Okay, so what will be it like? All the constants remain as such, that is 2 pi square is written as such, v square is written as such, rho is written as such, a square is written as such, lambda square is written as such. You are just applying the limit to integral dx, okay, from 0 to 1. Okay, so these terms is kept as such, and you are applying the integral 0 to 1 to dx only. What is integral dx? It is x, right? Now apply the limit from 0 to 1. So x from 0 to 1 will be 1. Okay, so what you are getting is this term will reduce to 1 and you are left only with this one, that is 2 pi square v square rho a square by lambda square. See, that is equation 23. See, one important thing is that all the integrations and the differentiation that is involved in this section is very simple. If you know differentiation and integration very well, it is very easy to work out. So first of all, be thorough with integration and differentiation. Those who don't know, then try to work it out yourself. Okay, that's why I'm not explaining it much, because you have already studied a lot about this integration and differentiation in lower classes. So there is no meaning in spending time discussing with integration and differentiation. Okay. So that is equation 23. So equation 23 is the expression for energy density, which is 2 pi square v square rho a square by lambda square. Now here what you are, they have made one more substitution. Have you seen a v square there? Instead of v, they are using nu. That is, we know that is velocity by lambda is nothing but frequency nu. Okay, so instead of that, v square by v by lambda is nu. So v square by lambda square will be nu square. So equation 23 reduces to 2 pi square nu square rho a square. That is equation 24, the final expression for energy density for a plane progressive harmonic wave. So here we can, from this equation, we can say that even though kinetic energy and potential energy of the wave depends on the values of x and t, total energy density is independent of kinetic energy and potential energy, because in that expression we cannot see any term related to kinetic energy and potential energy. That's why we say that total energy density of a plane progressive harmonic wave is independent of kinetic energy and potential energy of the wave. Now here they have made some descriptions. I think that you need not write, you just write the expression. This expression is enough, no need of deriving all this. Just write like this: expression for average kinetic energy, this one. Then write the expression for average potential energy. Then finally write this result: at a given instant, energy of a plane progressive wave is half kinetic and half potential. That's enough. Okay. So here the most probable question that is likely to be asked is write a note on plane progressive wave. So you have to write the definition is the mathematical expression. Now this is the essay question. Derive the expression for energy density of a plane progressive harmonic wave. You have to write all these steps. Okay. Up to this much you have to write, and then as I said, just skip this derivation part, write only like this: the expression for average kinetic energy is equation 25, that expression, and then the expression for average potential energy, write that equation, equation 26, and finally write at a given instant of time, energy of a plane progressive harmonic wave is half kinetic and half potential. So what I have to tell is that you just work out this derivation when you listen to this video. Okay, then only it will be easy for you to pick up. Okay, so for today this is enough. Thank you.